That's it. That is the result. That is the result that Liverpool have been waiting for. That is the marquee moment. That is the statement result. That is the future of Liverpool Football Club. I have been saying it for ages. Do not underestimate this Liverpool team. Do not forget the brilliance of Arne Slot. Do not write off this Liverpool side. And what they have done tonight is simply sensational. To give themselves a platform in which they beat Real Madrid, it is such a statement. It is symbolic. When you beat Real Madrid, bearing in mind that Liverpool have struggled against Real Madrid. I know they beat them last year, but generally speaking, Liverpool have struggled against Real Madrid. And yet, they got the job done there. Anybody that has been saying that Liverpool are done, anybody that has been saying that Arne Slot doesn't know what he's doing, anybody that has been suggesting that Liverpool cannot find an answer is completely and utterly mistaken. Will Fowman in the Super Chat, what is happening, sir, has said, best performance by a right-back against Madrid. I'll see you exactly where this is going. Best performance by a right-back against Real Madrid for Liverpool that I've seen in the last decade. I hope Trent enjoyed his front row seat to that. Will, I love what you're doing there. I love what you're doing. Look, we're obviously going to have to talk about the booing. We're obviously going to have to talk about what it meant. We're obviously going to have to talk about the reaction to the noise, the cacophony of noise that Anfield was when Trent Alexander-Arnold came on. But can we, do me just a quick favour before we get into that, can you please like the stream? Could we nudge this stream to over 100 likes before we get into that? Because it is such an important thing to talk about. I love going live with you. I love having these conversations. I love hearing what you have to say about football. But that was, dare I say it, a delectable medley of footballing splendour. You know, sometimes you just appreciate football, don't you? Sometimes, every now and again, you have to remove the tribalism from football. You have to go, do you know what? That is it. That is what we're in it for. Top clashes. Liverpool, the most prestigious European entity in England. The founding fathers of football. Liverpool are our European representation. Coming up against the behemoth of Spain. The record holders. The Decima and all that, the three in a row, Zinedine Zidane. The history of the European Cup belongs to Real Madrid. So when you have the champions of England coming up against the representation of Spain, sometimes you have to pinch yourself and go, do you know what? That's the moment. That is it. This is football. This is what we're in it for. To watch those two teams clash at Anfield in that moment with all the glory. You think about the moment that the goal hit the back of the net. McAllister, in that second half, what a moment that was. What a header. And there is no doubt that Arne Slot's team were fully deserving the victory. Arne Slot's team was simply sensational. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for Thibaut Courtois, they would have won by about 4. Thibaut Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. That is a fact. People want to talk about Donnarumma and Alisson and Edison and whatever else. But Thibaut Courtois, and by the way, it pains me to say this, I do not like Thibaut Courtois. I do not wish Thibaut Courtois well. I wish that it wasn't true. But Thibaut Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the league. And the reason that he's the best goalkeeper in the league is because when it most matters, in those huge occasions, he shines. He thrives. He comes prepared. And that was just a scintillating performance from him. They would have won. Liverpool would have definitely won by 3 or 4 if it wasn't for him. But now Liverpool, 2 wins in a row. 2 significant wins in a row as well. Beating Aston Villa, beating Unai Emery, then beating Real Madrid. They then play Manchester City. This is it. This is what it's going to come down to. This is the moment that potentially Liverpool resurrect. Every now and again in football, you need that moment, don't you? You need that thing, that galvanising force. You need that springboard. And it's not always a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. But sometimes you just need that moment. For example, when Antonio Conte's Chelsea went on to win the league, it was a 3-0 defeat against Arsenal that lit the touch paper for us. It lit the fuse for Chelsea to go and win the Premier League title. Liverpool losing game after game after game. People writing them off. Losing in Istanbul. People were saying that it was over. People were being so disrespectful to Mohamed Salah. People were being so scathing to Arne Slot. And it was so foolish. It was so foolish. I want it recorded. I want you to record it. Anybody that has been writing off Liverpool time and time again, I have been the one saying absolutely not. Are Arsenal strong? Absolutely. Are Arsenal favourites? Absolutely. But are there twists and turns to come? Are this Liverpool team capable of doing something simply sensational? Absolutely. Going back into the Super Chat now, Sean says, Liverpool versus Real Madrid and the referee. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think the referee had a good game at all, mate. You're absolutely right. Joel Fitz says, how good was Conor Bradley? Yeah, it was an amazing performance. You know what? The first Super Chat of the night from Will Fowman said that it was the best performance that he's seen from a right-back against Real Madrid for over a decade. You can see exactly what he's talking about there, can't you? And we are going to come on to talk about the booing, because I've heard some self-righteous nonsense I've already had to listen to pious football fans who don't know what they're talking about telling me that Liverpool shouldn't have done it. I'll tell you what, there's an Arsenal kiddie whose opinion I have very little time for. He didn't know who Tony Adams was. And he has been really, really scathing about Liverpool fans, suggesting that Liverpool fans shouldn't boo. And I was like, mate, what the hell do you know about it? What do you know about the culture of Liverpool? What do you know about Trent Alexander-Arnold's relationship with the fans? What do you know? How can anybody who isn't fully immersed into the culture and the fabric and the significance of Liverpool Football Club really pass comment? What I can tell you is this. If it were at Chelsea, I would boo. And I have booed former Chelsea players. I've regularly booed former Chelsea players. I've enjoyed booing former Chelsea players. And any Chelsea player that has left, Thibaut Courtois, a prime example, I would boo Thibaut Courtois. I have booed Thibaut Courtois. I've enjoyed booing Thibaut Courtois. And I was correct in doing so. These pious football fans who have never stood in an away end, who have absolutely no idea what following a team and dedicating your life to a football club is all about, telling Liverpool fans, I think that you shouldn't be doing that. I think it's really out of order that you should do that. Don't you know that he was part of a team that won you the league? Don't you know anything about football? Don't you know about the irrationality of football fans? Don't you know anything about the betrayal of a homegrown player who was chosen to leave the champions to go and play for a different team? There is absolutely nothing wrong with Liverpool fans' decision to boo. Liverpool fans have the total and utter right. And pious football fans sitting in their house in London telling match-going Liverpool fans how to behave about an issue about their club. Like, this geezer is mental. Supports Arsenal now, admits he used to support Man United. It's like mental. How has this geezer got a voice? I just don't get it. But that is my opinion on it. That is where I sit on the matter. And I would say, if you aren't fully immersed into the culture of Liverpool, it's not really your choice to pass comment. Like, there is absolutely no way that if you want to know an issue about what's going on at Liverpool, what you need to do is ask a Liverpool season ticket holder. Ask a Liverpool fan. Ask somebody who's dedicated their life to Liverpool for the long haul. They'll tell you the right and wrong of the club. They'll tell you what's right and wrong. You can't pass comment. You literally can't pass comment. If you want to know the true feeling of the fans, go and ask the fans. If you want to know the true feeling of a football club, go and ask the fans of the football club. They will tell you. You cannot possibly get an understanding in it from looking from the outside in. This result means so much, says Tornaz in the Super Chat. Conor Bradley, wow. Andrew Alexander says, is that the Liverpool clicking that we were all waiting for? Yeah, I've been saying that it's going to come. And I think that sometimes what you need that statement result. You need that big moment. You need that coming together, that coming of age moment. And if anything is going to awaken a spirit in this Liverpool team, it is this. Look, Liverpool have lost to Brentford very recently. Liverpool have lost to Crystal Palace, home and away, very recently. They have even lost to Manchester United, a beleaguered, useless, poor Manchester United team. But I tell you what, they have just faced the greatest side in the history of football. They have just faced the greatest club team in the history of the European Cup. Doesn't that tell you what Liverpool are capable of? Can they find the consistency? Maybe, maybe not. But are they capable of finding the consistency? We have seen it tonight. They are capable of beating anyone. Like, it was a brilliant game. It was a brilliant game that will be remembered for Trent Alexander-Arnold. That is the moment. That is what everybody wants to get their teeth into. That is what people want to get stuck into. But there is no doubt in my mind that this can happen for Liverpool still this season. We've been running a poll on the channel. Thank you all so much for voting. And the question was, what are Liverpool most likely to win this season? 46% of you insightful people, nearly half of the people watching, believe that Liverpool are capable of winning the Champions League. Still 20% of you believe that Liverpool can win the the Premier League, and 17% think both. There is also a 20% section of you that think Liverpool will win neither. All of the above are possible. I do not believe that Liverpool will end this season empty-handed. I think this Liverpool team are far too good to end this season empty-handed. I rate Arne Slot so highly, and I would like it noted that this has been the place where I have constantly been saying that Liverpool are still capable. Liverpool are ready to launch a serious and sustained bid to recapture their title. Liverpool are capable of winning the European Cup. Of course they are. They are the most decorated team in European Cup history from England, the founding fathers of football. Like, treat them with respect. Surely we know far worse Liverpool teams than this one have done far better in the European Cup than people are suggesting this one will do. Like, we've seen Vladimir Smitsa go with Liverpool to a European final and win it. We've seen Dirk Kuyt's a bad example. Jimmy Traore, right? This Liverpool team are completely and utterly capable of going to Budapest in May and lifting the European Cup. That is the least controversial thing you will ever hear on this channel. And the reason that we know it is because we have seen it before. The reason that we know it is because Liverpool on a European night is a spectacle only comparable to themselves. It is undoubtedly the best footballing atmosphere that I have ever been in. Now, I'm not doing the whole the Anfield atmosphere. The Anfield atmosphere is amazing. Listen, there is an issue at Anfield. There is an issue at Anfield like there is an issue at every single Premier League team. There is an over-sanitisation of Premier League football. Premier League stadiums are not what they should be, and they are most certainly not what they used to be. But what we cannot do is pretend that there is anything comparable to Anfield on a European night in this country, because there simply isn't. And I can tell you that from experience. I was there when we beat them. I was there when Branislav Ivanovic scored 2. I was there when John Arne Riise scored an own goal. But I was also there when Dirk Kuyt scored. I was the last person to leave that night when that Dirk Kuyt penalty hit the back of the net and the entire stadium erupted. I've been in that ground. I've been there on a European night. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've cried and I've celebrated. And I can tell you categorically, a European night at Anfield, anything can happen. They are capable of anything. So write Liverpool off in the Champions League at your peril. There is nobody that wants to go there and play. There is nobody that believes that they can go there and get a victory guaranteed. They will give anyone a game. So 46% of you believe that Liverpool can win the European Cup. You are absolutely correct. BW96 in the super chat. Thank you to everybody who's watching, by the way. Can I ask you a quick favour? Please like this stream. I love going live. I love having these conversations. It really is a great way to spend an evening talking about football off the back of what we have watched, which is undoubtedly a delectable medley of footballing splendour. Right, where are we up to? Let me go into the super chat. BW96 says, Conor Bradley, what a guy, had Vinicius Jr. in his pocket. I mean, it was challenge after challenge after challenge, wasn't it? Heavy tackle after heavy tackle. He was a man possessed. He was a man out to make a statement, and he undoubtedly made that statement. It really was impressive stuff from Conor Bradley, and for obvious reasons, Liverpool fans are going to thoroughly embrace that. Love it. As well they should. Because Liverpool beating Real Madrid is always a significant moment. It's always a significant game. And there were so many positives. Like Florian Wirtz played really well. He had an awful lot going on. I mean, the match winner, Alexis McAllister. What a goal that was as well, by the way. It was a brilliant, brilliant moment. And look, I don't think it's too much of a big deal. You know, Real Madrid won't be worried about losing. They won't be worried about suffering their first defeat in this Champions League. But it matters. It hurts. It's not ideal. It's going to sting. It's going to be a wound. It's going to need dressing because they have lost to Liverpool. And yeah, fine. They're in 5th in the league. There's not too much jeopardy riding on it. But they don't want to be losing games like that. They really do not want to be losing fixtures to a team that could win. And they didn't really turn up. They weren't really in it, were they? Liverpool were just far superior. The only Real Madrid player that was better than anyone of his alternative number was Thibaut Courtois. I mean, you could make an argument that despite losing, Thibaut Courtois was the best player on the pitch. Like, he was just unplayable. He's just amazing. Do you remember the performance that he put in Paris against Liverpool? He did it again. It was just unreal. Like, it was heroics. Like, Liverpool defying heroics. Like, brilliant, brilliant stuff from him. And I tell you what, there will be a lot of players, I think, deserve a mention. Like, everyone's talking about Conor Bradley, and I feel like the reason they're talking about Conor Bradley is because Conor Bradley was brilliant, but also because of the Trent Alexander-Arnold thing. Do you know the player who I think we should talk about? Maybe over the course of the season has been Liverpool's best player. I think Dominic Szoboszlai. Like, Dominic Szoboszlai, his energy, his work rate, his commitment. It's one of the best in the league for that. And do you know what? I hold my hands up. When Liverpool had that Galactico-like window, I believe that Dominic Szoboszlai's place in the team could be under threat. I felt like maybe he was good, but not good enough. But my God, he was immense today. He was absolutely immense. He has become the standard bearer of that team. He has become the driving force. Like, I'm not making a drastic comparison here between the players, so don't have a go at me. I'm not doing that. What I am doing, however, is just using it as an example. You know when Roy Keane was in the Manchester United team, in that midfield, and he would demand everyone's commitment. He would demand the performance from everybody elevates. I feel like Dominic Szoboszlai has sort of become that. He's kind of become the team. He's become the energy. He's become the standard bearer. He is demanding excellence from everyone around him. And because he is running 100 miles a game, because he is effectively a Duracell bunny of a footballer, he can do that. He can ask for more from everyone else. And it was the perfect day for the midfield. On a slot, finding his groove, finding his rhythm. I mean, Florian Wirtz, finding it. It's happening, isn't it? It's gradually happening. And obviously, everybody, rightly so, by the way, will talk about Alexis McAllister. Like, when you're a match winner against Real Madrid, you rightly so, you're kind of going to get the plaudits that you deserve. But it really was massive. And it's been a really good couple of days at Liverpool, hasn't it? Well, I say couple. Really good, 4 or 5 days at Anfield? Really strong. And it's exactly what they need. And if they can now just beat Man City, go into the international break on a winning vein, that really could be huge. I'm going straight back into your super chats now. Thank you to everybody for getting them in. Sean has said it's the best right-back performance since Vinny Bradley last season, you mean? Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. See, this is the mentality that I just love, because it's exactly the way that I view football. It's exactly how I would. I am incredibly tribal, incredibly cynical, and once you have betrayed... Like, do you know what? You know Idaho Johnson? I'll give you a great example. Idaho Johnson, one of the best footballers I've ever seen. Honestly, I think he's chronically underrated. A beautiful footballer. If you're a Liverpool fan watching this, I know exactly what you're thinking now. You're thinking of that chance in front of the Kop, aren't you? Jamie Carragher slide. I know exactly what you're thinking. And that one hurts me. But apart from that moment, Idaho Johnson, one of the most magical footballers I've ever seen. I love him. I really do. But I can't love him because he went to Tottenham for 6 months on a loan deal. I can't love him. Carlo Cudicini betrayed me. He went to Tottenham for no reason whatsoever. Gordon Jury, Gustavo Poyet, Judas. Don't do it. Don't do it and expect love. Do it and expect ramifications. And that's just the way I feel about it. So I back any Liverpool fan that has an issue with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold positioned himself as being the local lad from Liverpool. He was a shoo-in for the next Liverpool captain. He was the heir apparent to the Liverpool captaincy, having grown up in the city, having said he is just a local lad from Liverpool who only wants to play for his boyhood club. He's then off to Spain to join a team that weren't even champions, to leave Liverpool as champions to join a team that weren't even champions. Of course, the Anfield faithful booed. Of course, the Anfield faithful were angry. Of course, the Anfield faithful have an issue with Alexander-Arnold. It would be insane for them to not. And if you do not understand why Liverpool fans decided to take the opportunity today to have a pop at Trent Alexander-Arnold, I would question your comprehension of football. I would question your comprehension of fan motivation. I would question your understanding of the culture of being a football fan, devoting your life to following your team home and away. I don't think you fully understand it if you do not understand why Liverpool fans have an issue with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Going back into the super chat now, Raphael Hudson says, imagine Arsenal signed Rodrigo instead of Eze. I know. I mean, like, I thought Eze was a great signing. Premier League proven. You can't put a price on Premier League proven. I mean, you can, because they sold him. But Premier League proven is worth its weight in gold. The Hawk Lord says, one word describes Liverpool tonight, awesome. Can't disagree with that at all. La Isla Bonita. What has history got to do with a team winning a trophy now? Surely being the best team now is what actually matters when it comes to being favourites for it. No. History teaches you everything about football. You know when Liverpool played Tottenham in the European final, there was only ever going to be one winner. And the reason there was only going to be one winner is because of what Liverpool have done before in Europe. Liverpool's strength in Europe meant that Liverpool were going to destroy a team like Tottenham who have a fairly pitiful record in Europe. That's fact. The fact that Manchester United lost to Tottenham in Europe belies that fact, and that's why Ruben Amorim should have been sacked. You cannot lose to Tottenham in a European final if you are Manchester United manager. You just can't. You just can't. The history of the club will teach you about the future of the club. When Chelsea play Real Madrid, we're underdogs. When Chelsea play Arsenal in Europe, we beat them. We beat them. With the Invincibles, right? We've got a strong record in Europe. Very strong. Far better than Arsenal's. We always have. 1971, we won a European trophy. We won the Cup Winners' Cup. We beat Real Madrid in Athens. That was a trophy, 1971. That was before Liverpool had even won European silverware. We've always had a strong presence in Europe. What happens when we come up against the Invincibles, Arsene Wenger's Invincibles? We batter them and launch them out of Europe. Because in Europe, our record counts. What happens when we play Arsenal in the first all-London European final ever? 2019 Baku, what happens? Wallop, shut up, battered. Absolutely battered. 4-1. 4-1 we beat them. Like, the history massively, massively matters. La Isla Bonita. And that's a banger, by the way. And when the sun don't play, the sun will set to high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes. Spanish lullaby. James Wilson says, what a player Szoboszlai has become. That's what I've just been saying, James. James, I hope you've been here for a little while, my friend, because that is exactly the point I've been making. Alexis McAllister will get the admiration because he scored the winner, as well he should. Thibaut Courtois was man of the match. I feel like Florian Wirtz creating chance after chance after chance, really finding his groove, finding his rhythm. Florian Wirtz will get discussed. I think we need to talk about Dominic Szoboszlai. He's Liverpool's best player. He's Liverpool's most important player. Dominic Szoboszlai in that central midfield absolutely changes everything about Liverpool. Absolutely changes everything about Liverpool. So I completely agree with James Wilson there in the super chat. Before I go to the next one, could you do me a massive favour? Could you please like this stream and give it some hype points? No one knows what they do, but they really help. If you would be kind enough just give the stream a like. Thank you very much. This is from the Opinionated Observer. Yeah, Opinionated Observer. That was a balanced team doing Liverpool things. I actually think Frimpong unbalances the side right and Kirkes on the left-hand side. Yeah, I think, you know what, when I try and explore why it was going so wrong for Liverpool, there are a million reasons why. But yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you to a certain extent. One of the major reasons why it went so wrong for Liverpool for as long as it did, issues at fullback. Milos Kirkes hasn't been good enough. I'm not saying that he won't become good enough, but I'm saying that he isn't good enough now. Andy Robertson is the best left-back at Liverpool. Andy Robertson is an iconic left-back. Andy Robertson sets a standard. Andy Robertson needs to play the biggest games. When Liverpool play Man City, Andy Robertson needs to be in the team. As does Conor Bradley, as he demonstrated tonight. If Arne Slot can sprinkle some stardust on the fullbacks, I think everything changes for Liverpool. When you try and explore why it's gone wrong, where it's gone wrong, I think that is the major issue. The major issue has been the fullbacks. That's where it's gone wrong. But today they were excellent. You know, Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham. It kept them quiet. Kept them in a pocket. You know, you're up against Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. with Jude Bellingham coming through the middle. Mate, it's not easy. Not easy at all. Also, they've got a good manager, you know, Xavi Alonso. But ultimately, I think Liverpool should be so happy tonight. You know, they won the game via a free kick. Alexis McAllister on the score sheet. They did everything that they needed to do. Going back into the super chat here now. Szoboszlai, the future captain of Liverpool, another number 8, says the Storm Crown. Possibly. Why not? Why not at all? I mean, look, you know how highly I rate him. Could he be captain? I mean, it feels like he's not next in the queue, but he could certainly be a captain one day. I think he's an excellent player. I really do. What a shift from Andy Robertson as well. All eyes on Bradley, but Robertson did not put a foot wrong today. Great performance on both sides. BW96, I couldn't agree more. Getting the fullbacks right could be Arne Slot's biggest masterstroke this season. Getting that balance right. You know, weirdly, Liverpool ended up a team in transition, didn't they? They were champions and they ended up a team in transition, which they never really should be. When you are the champions, you probably shouldn't be a team in transition. But They ended up in that sense. I think now what he can do, what Arne Slot can do now, is just put it right. Just go with the team that is most like the team of last year. Like I always think there's a place in the team for Curtis Jones. When he came on, I just feel like Curtis Jones brings a control to the game. I like players like Curtis Jones. I think that he's a very good player. I think that he deserves a place in the team. So having players like him in and around it. But basically, the team that we saw today, the team that we saw start, that old-fashioned looking midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, that's the midfield that will take Liverpool a long way this season if they can get it right, if they can get cooking on gas, if they can get moving in the right direction. And I truly believe that they can. Dominic Sutton says, Liverpool proved today why I think they can win the Champions League. Dominic, do you know what? Saying that Liverpool can win the Champions League is a completely and utterly legitimate thought. It's a completely and utterly legitimate thing to say. It's Liverpool. It's Liverpool with their outrageously brilliant record in the Champions League. They're always capable. They're always ready to do something major in the Champions League. So I think that, of course they are capable of doing something major in the Champions League. No doubt about it. Will they do it? There's always jeopardy. But Liverpool are one of the 5 teams that could win the Champions League. And of those 5, joint third favourites? It's high, Joint third favourites. It's high. Ethan Gill says, do you believe that Slot has finally figured out his starting 11 by starting Wirtz on the left wing and reverting back to the basics by giving up on possession? I think it was interesting. Like, basically, Real Madrid couldn't get you on the break. Real Madrid couldn't get Liverpool on the break because Liverpool didn't really commit. It was a very clever way of nullifying the brilliance of Xabi Alonso's team. Xabi Alonso's team, the beauty of them, is they hit you on the break. Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., bang, 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 and you're 1-0 down before you even realised it. That didn't happen because when Liverpool were on the attack, they didn't really overcommit. They never really went for the jugular. They were always ready. And in that engine room of a midfield with Dominic Szoboszlai, they always had enough people back. They always had enough men back. So it was an excellent managerial display today as well from Arne Slot. We're naturally going to talk about Bradley. We're naturally going to talk about Szoboszlai, McAllister, Wirtz. But the victory really belongs to Arne Slot, doesn't it? If it had gone wrong for Liverpool today, maybe even I'm guilty of this now. If it had gone wrong for Arne Slot today, I would have undoubtedly been saying Arne Slot's got it wrong. Liverpool had lost 2-0 at home to Real Madrid. These comments would have all been full of people talking about Arne Slot. And some, rather foolishly, would have been saying Arne Slot out and all that. But they didn't lose, they got it right. So I think that Arne Slot, therefore, deserves an awful lot of credit because Liverpool were far and away the better team. They were far and away deserving of their victory. And if it wasn't for the brilliance of Thibaut Courtois, they would have won the game. Like, Thibaut Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. And the performance today from him was absolutely outrageous. Elliot Purcell in the Super Chat says, Rory, Liverpool play well when McAllister plays well. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more than just McAllister though, mate. I think it's that midfield. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister with Curtis Jones backing them up. That's the team. That's the heart of the team. That's what needs to play well. Can Liverpool catch Arsenal in the Premier League? Can they? Can they catch them? Of course they can. Of course they can. Are they capable? Yes. Can Liverpool win the next 10 games in a row? Yes. Can Liverpool win, 12 out of the next 15? Of course they can. Will they is a different question. Will they catch Arsenal? Are Arsenal even there to be caught? Maybe Arsenal's so far clear, so good. Who knows? But I believe Liverpool can still win the league. My prediction before the season started was that Liverpool will win the league. They would retain the Premier League title. I'm not ready to change that. Arsenal have been mind-blowingly good. We saw it again tonight. It's another game. What's that? 6 games in a row. They haven't conceded a goal. 4 games out of the 6, they haven't had a shot on target. Arsenal are brilliant. But can they catch them? Of course they can catch them. Of course they can. So yeah, I think I've done all this. I'm up to date on the Super Chats. Brilliant. Can I ask you a massive favour? Would you please click subscribe? Would you do me the honour of joining the community? We are inching ever closer to 370,000 subscribers, which is a dreamland. If there is a world in which any of you that are watching this could consider clicking subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. But yeah, I do believe that Liverpool can catch Arsenal. Arsenal are an amazing side. But if Liverpool can just put a run together, we've seen that they're capable of beating the best. Let's see how they do. When they went into this week, people were saying that it was a week that could potentially spell the end for Arne Slot. People were saying that if they lost to Villa, lost to Real Madrid, maybe lose to Man City, that could be the end of the manager. Like, that always sounded ludicrous to me. That always sounded like way wild of what we were actually seeing. But he's won 2 of the 3. If he beats Man City on the weekend, look, I think that Arsenal are going to make light work of Sunderland. I mean, it's got a Granit Xhaka goal written all over it, but it will be a consolation goal. It will be a rocket from 30 yards, won't it? But Arsenal will win the game 3-1. But if Liverpool come through with the 3 points as well, that would be an outrageously brilliant result for them. So Liverpool have still got it all to do, but so do Arsenal. Arsenal have to keep being brilliant. But this result tonight, if Liverpool do ultimately win the league, we will trace it back to this result. We will trace the ultimate victory back to this moment. Noah's in the super chat, who says Florian Wirtz, best performance in a Liverpool shirt. Salah was good tonight and was always trying something. A huge win. Win her the moon, Rory. Over the moon, it must be. Over the moon. Yeah, Noah, you should be over the moon. And yeah, Florian Wirtz creating chance after chance after chance. I mean, yeah, absolutely. A great night for Florian Wirtz. And Mohamed Salah is inevitable. We should never even talk about Mohamed Salah not potentially being brilliant. It's like the dumbest conversation that you can possibly have. Salah's always going to come good. Salah is always going to score an abundance of goals. Salah is always going to be the reason that Liverpool can do something magical this season. There is no doubt about it. Dominic Sutton in the super chat says, I've been saying for a while, we overreacted with Slot. I trust him to get us out of this. He's a top-class manager. Dominic Sutton, I completely agree with you. James Wilson, also in the super chat, says, the amount of players that rejected us in that Real Madrid side makes it even sweeter. Jude Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Howson, Trent, all said no and all got battered. James Wilson, you are absolutely correct. And yeah, Dominic, your point about Arne Slot is totally and utterly true. Like Dominic Sutton's comment there, it says, I've been saying it for a while, we overreacted to Slot. I trusted him to get us out of this. He is a top-class manager. Do you know what? People often call me reactionary. People often say that I go a little bit overboard or whatever. I have been saying that from day dot. You can watch any video that I've done on Liverpool since it started going a little bit wrong for them. And I have time and time again said, Arne Slot will get them out of this. Arne Slot will find a way. Arne Slot is capable of digging Liverpool out of this. Arne Slot is capable of finding the correct formula to get Liverpool winning games again. There is no doubt about it. I truly believe that is the case. Raphael Hudson in the super chat says, not losing Trent that's disturbed Liverpool's start. The only answer is Diaz. It was just his goals and assists as a left winger. He gave them shape. Company is dreaming. I mean, there's no doubt about it that losing Luis Diaz, and it isn't only about that. It's about like losing players in their prime. Luis Diaz is a player in his prime. Darwin Núñez, however good you think he is a player in his prime. You've brought in Florian Wirtz. There's going to be an education there. There's going to take time. Hugo Ekitike, it's going to take time. It could be for the long-term benefit, but obviously there's going to be an impact. But tonight belongs to Liverpool. Tonight belongs to Arne Slot. Tonight belongs to Conor Bradley. Tonight belongs to Dominic Szoboszlai. An outrageous win. Undoubtedly a delectable medley of footballing splendour for Liverpool Football Club. Before you go, will you do me a massive favour? Please give this stream a like and please click subscribe. I look forward to seeing you all in the morning. We're going to do a video. Ta-da.